Hello, and I'm covering the same story everyone else is covering. The influencer that has died suddenly. Or not died, or maybe killed by someone. Who knows? Who knows? I came across this and it's all over YouTube. So I thought, let me cover it, get myself into the algorithm. So, lifestyle influencer from Miami, Florida has died aged 31 in suspicious circumstances after getting engaged on vacation in Zanzibar. Ashlee Jenae, real name Ashlee Robinson, was found unconscious in her villa at the Zuri Zanzibar resort and was rushed to the nearby hospital where she was confirmed dead hours later. It's sad. I wish she survived, man. I wish she survived so we can actually find out what really happened, because this just seems really odd. And you have to be careful with some of these lifestyle influencers. A lot of people are looking from the outside into their lives, and we only getting a snapshot of how people's lives are portrayed or want to be betrayed. So you on Instagram, you see a couple of pictures, and you're like, wow, they're having a great time, they're having a great life, but we don't know what goes on behind the scenes in order for them to have that lifestyle, what they've been having to put up with. And that's the craziness about Instagram. Like, you don't know how they got what they got. I've seen a lot of people on Instagram, they never do a day's work in their life. They're always on a holiday. I scratched my head. I was like, man, I need to wake up, go to the post office, do some work, make some YouTube videos to get that little bit of ad revenue just to make ends meet at the end of the day, to pay the bills. I can't afford to be on holiday every single month. But some people can live that lifestyle, and I will just feel myself like, wonder how they live it. Let's have a look. However, the influencer's family and close friends have firstly rejected the claim, describing her as a full of life. Robinson has jetted to the holiday destination with her fiance Joe McCann to celebrate her birthday on April 5th. McCann, the founder of crypto fund Asymmetric Finance, has also proposed to her during the safari on the trip. Crypto sounds like corruption. When I hear crypto, I feel like corruption. God, it's one of those things where it's money. I understand how it's made, but I could never fully invest into it. I feel it just comes across like, at one point, you invest in certain cryptocurrencies, and they pull the rug from underneath your feet, and it ain't worth nothing. So buyer beware when it comes to crypto. But some people are making loads of money from it. Good for them. Where was I? In her final post, she wrote, Chapter 31, I am exactly where I need to be. Savannah Britt, a public relations executive and close friend of the deceased, has publicly disputed claims that Robinson died by suicide. Nice looking girl, man. As I said before, when it's too good to be true, it probably is. So what's her life? So she just leeches up with this guy, and she's like some sort of like arm candy. There ain't no way someone gonna be just in love with you and spend all this money on you, and he can. But I put it in this way: with my mindset, I'm looking at how these guys may think. There's like a million other girls like this on Instagram. Take the makeup away, they all look the same, average looking, and they can easily be replaced. You know how many women are out there just want to sit down their ass all day, go on foreign trips in private jets? A lot. So they can easily be replaced. So I'm looking at this guy like, in a viral post, she stated, anyone who knows Ash knows she would never commit suicide. We need answers now. The exact location where the influencer was found remains subject to conflicting reports. with some sources claiming she was inside her hotel room and others stating she was found outside. No official autopsy and toxicology results have been released to the public. Tanzanian authorities are continuing to handle activities investigating the circumstances. Let's see, website acquired over 85 followers on Instagram by documenting what she called a soft life philosophy of positive and reporting the need to know. I don't know, the guy don't look too bad. He don't look like a bad person, man, but you know, he's giving the camera, the camera that look like I'm evil, I'm evil. Who knows, man? It could all be an accident, but this seems a bit weird. A lot of people saying, a lot of the black community are like, we don't really feel sorry for her, just, you know, because she's been saying a lot of bad things about black men in general. I mean, each to their own. You don't like black men, you don't like black men. You found a rich white man, and now you're dead. Make of that what you want when you're looking down in heaven. Who knows? In this picture, he just looks evil there, man. He's like, I'm coming for you. Who's taking the pictures, really? They're a bit overly poseful. I don't know. A lot of people say something fishy is going on. I don't know what to make of it. Let me see what the comment section in. Let's see. I went into Reddit, so I went and done a deep dive. I went into Reddit. And I'm like, okay, is this guy really evil? One person said, I'm feeling really weird about saying this, but I know someone who dated Joe McCann at some point in the past, and I was on the phone with her during the argument. Let's just say he didn't refrain from very specific slurs related to color of skin. I'd prefer not to specify her race or anything else identifying. That doesn't exactly mean anything in regards to this woman, Steph, but left a very distinct impression on me about the kind of man he is. I wish her family and loved ones strength and in getting to the bottom of what happened, whatever that search may reveal. Mods? Okay, say not a mod, blah blah blah. Suggest someone conducted the case. Oh, somebody said they knew somebody who dated him, and this guy, they said he was a hardcore racist. He using the hard N-word. That's what they're saying. When he gets angry, he'll flip and start saying all sorts. I don't know if that's true. I'm just reading from the comments. Don't come after me. You know, it looked like she may have known this guy had some tendency to be really racist at points. Then he may cool down, and he'll be all lovey-dovey again. I don't know what goes on in their relationship, but from what that comment said, he has tendencies to snap. You know, it kind of might, but this whole South Africa thing reminded me of the honeymoon murder, Anni Dewani. You remember her? Years ago? 2010. Way back when. Let's see. Anni Dewani is the so she was on honeymoon in South Africa, and she was dating a millionaire. Yes, I know, another millionaire, right? That's why I brought this up, because when this case came up, it just reminded me of something like this is really familiar. And the cases, like, they contrast each other in the sense where she died very suspiciously. So Anni Dewani died while on a honeymoon in South Africa. She was a Swedish woman of Indian origin who was murdered while on a honeymoon in South Africa after the taxi in which she was in with her husband was hijacked. Some people say it was a random hijacking. Others say he set it up. I don't know why he would do that. Why would you set up a hijacking to murder your wife, your honeymoon? It's very weird. You know, that's all I need to say. So when I read the story was going on for years, and he's being cleared of any wrongdoing. So let's have a look now here. So on 8th December, applications for dismissal under the Section 174 was granted by the Honorable Judge. Dewani was acquitted and exonerated of all involvement with the crimes. So the guy who done the murder, he got sentenced, I think like 25 years. He got out a bit early. His family was a bit upset. Another guy, he died in prison, I think. So you need to just look at all this. So yeah, they're kind of like contrasting each other in the sense that they're both in South Africa, and a lot of people say in Africa, when you're rich, you kind of can have one black dude as the fall guy, or not that there was a black guy involved in this, no race related into this, but the guy who done the hijacking, he was black, and this guy's a millionaire, so he was just a fall guy in it. So there's one guy, and then you're a fall guy, and you just serve 12 years out of 25. You're laughing, really. Truly, you're laughing, and we don't know what went on behind the scenes with payments and all sorts. And the same thing goes with this Ashlee lady here right now. We don't know what's gonna happen with this story. It may end up that she really did commit suicide, but I doubt it. It reminds me of an episode of, have you seen Penguin, where the guy was making it look like she committed suicide by hanging, but it wasn't really her committing suicide by hanging. He did it. So I think he strangled her or something like that, and then he made it look like she hanged herself. Yeah, that's what, a lot of these people, yeah, they watch too much TV. That's where they're getting their ideas from. But with what's it called again? Ashlee Dewani. There was a thing where, yes, he's a multi-millionaire. He got away with the so-called murder because he got acquitted. Someone got the years. He got acquitted for setting up the murder. And what we've seen now, was like suspicion that he was hiding his sexuality. So he was meant to be like down low gay. So a guy called the German Master, who he was like seeing at the time, who gave evidence in the honeymoon murder trial, he was found dead. Okay, that's weird, right? Guess how they found him dead. Let's have a look. Let's read on. The key witness in the murder of trial of millionaire businessman Ashlee Dewani has been found dead. The body of former sex worker 45 was discovered by friends in his flat in Moseley, Birmingham. A post-mortem showed that, yes, the sex worker circles as the German master died from hanging. So yeah, that ties up all the loose ends with that story, right? So that's the end of that. So you make of everything what you may think. I mean, I'm not gonna like assumptions on what happened with the poor lady that died, but like as I said before, the stories are contrasting in many ways. There's the self deletion of people by certain methods, the country, the status of these people, millionaires. So yeah, it's just one of those weird things. You just put all this together and you think like, that's odd. Why did these people always have to be millionaires? South Africa, strange deaths, and they always seem to get away with it. But I leave that to. I mean, I'm not saying he did it, but this guy, he's not gonna come after me. This will probably get like 10 views. But make of it what you want, and you know you can put together everything. You start to put the pieces together of the puzzle, and you think, this is really fishy. Anyway, like, subscribe, and I'm out.